Now we are going to study application of equal area criteria, case number 4. So case number 4 is short circuit occurs at middle of the transmission line and that line is removed after some time. So we must understand pre-fault case, during fault case and post-fault case. So we are talking about the pre-fault case. Pre-fault case means we can write P max 1 basically. P max 1 is equal to Vs into VR upon X. Now during fault, what will happen during fault? Now this is the question and this is very important. What is happen? It fault occurs at one of the middle of the transmission line or in between the transmission line basically. This is not occurring at source end or load end. So during the fault, what will happen? Whether the power delivered will be zero or some amount of power will be transferred. So let's start. Let us assume I current is coming out to be here, one will be here and one will be here. So this value will be goes to direct zero because when it will be reaching here, so it will follow the low impedance path. So but the current coming from this point when it will be reached at this bus, so it has very large loads and this has the short circuit area and the very few impedances. So this will be transferring this power and this too, but the power transfer will be very less. The P transferred will be very less. Very less means very less, very less. So we can say that the value of P max 2 will be Vs into Vr upon X. Equivalent value we will calculate when comparing with the pre-fault, during fault and post-fault calculation. So post-fault will be what? During post-fault. During post-fault, this line is removed. During post-fault, this line is removed means now we can take P max 3. P max 3 will be equal to Vs into Vr upon xt plus x, and here it will be P max 1 xt plus x by 2. So now we have all the condition. We can see clearly that first I am writing the relation between P max 1. P max 1 will be greater than P max 3 will be greater than P max 2 because during the fault the power transfer will be, because during the fault P max 2 will be minimum, as we have seen minimum. So P max 2 will be minimum and we can draw in terms of reactance also that this value x2 will be much greater than x3 is greater than x1, means x1 will be the smallest. So these two equations we must remember that whenever we are dealing with the fault occurs at middle of the transmission line or anywhere in between the transmission line except source and load fault. Now we are going to draw the P delta diagram for this. So for P delta diagram I am writing this is y-axis and this is x-axis. Clearly you can see from here. So this will be P and this will be delta. So now I am going to draw one by one. So this is P is equal to P max sine delta. P1 is equal to P max sine delta. So this will be P1 is equal to P max 1 sine delta and this will be P max 2 will be lesser. So if P max 2 will be lesser, so we can diagram like this. We can draw the diagram like this and the P max 3 will be in between. So P max 3 I am writing with the black pen. So P max 3 will be like this. So these are same point are colliding with this point. So now we have this point, that is PM naught is equal to PE naught. So PM naught is equal to PE naught. We can draw here. PM naught is equal to PE naught will be here. So this is point PM naught is equal to PE naught. So what is happening exactly? Now I'm going to discuss. This Pmax2 will be lesser than this PM naught is equal to PM naught, as we have studied in the books as well as the experience. Now let us assume this is working as del naught. Let us assume this is working at del naught. This is working at del naught. So this is the point of del naught. This is the point of del naught. But when the fault is occurring in between the line, so this electrical power is be transferred to this third line. So this will be going to like this, because when p value will reduce, when p value will reduce, the delta will start accelerating, and this will accelerate like this. And the after few some time, this line is removed. I mean, this will go to this post fault condition. The post fault condition, it can go at any point, but what I'm drawing is the critical point, that is this is del max point, this is del max point, so this is del Cr. So now if we want to calculate the value of del Cr, we can calculate very easily. This is the A1, this is positive accelerating area, and this is it, that is negative accelerating area. So A1 will be equal to, A1 should be equal to A2. So now we are going to find out the value of del Cr with the help of this A1 is equal to A2. So we can write from del naught to del Cr, we can write Pm minus Pmax to Pm minus Pmax to sine delta, because during fault d delta is equal to del Cr to del max, it will P max 3 sine delta minus Pm d delta. So with the help of this given equation, we can find out the value of del Cr. We can find out the value of del Cr. Or if you want to calculate, or if you want to remember this formula, because this will be very difficult for calculation, so directly if we want to remember, so cos del Cr we can write is equal to Pm, this del max minus del naught, del max minus del naught minus P max 2 minus P max 2 cos delta naught plus P max 3 P max 3 cos of delta max upon total P max 3 minus P max 2 upon total P max upon total P max 3 minus P max 2. So here with this formula we calculate the critical clearance angle. So this is all about the application of equilibrium criteria, case number 4. Thank you.